On the spot where our ancient kings were crowned, there now grows a clump of trees. In the monastery of Scone in the Church of God, near to the high altar, is kept a large stone, hollowed out as a round chair, on which our kings are placed for their ordination, according to custom. That stone is Lia Fail, the stone of destiny. On it inscribed the words, Ne falat fatum, scote quocumque, locatum invenient lapidiem, regnassa tenetur ibidem. If the destiny prove true, then the Scots are known to have been kings wherever men find this stone. For more than 400 years it remained at the Abbey, successive Scots kings crowned upon it. But now it was coveted by another king, Edward of England, Longshanks, Hammer of the Scots. To confiscate an object as precious as the stone of Scone, a symbol of independence, would be the last humiliation. So confident of attaining his goal, that he stopped his advance and held a tournament not far from the Abbey. As a show of military strength it was impressive. His brave young men in full armour, pennoned lances, their Arabian horses festooned with caparisons in the colours of their houses, tempered blades glinting in the sun, shields clattered for sport, not war, and the thunder of hooves on the ground, a fine spectacle. Military might made into muse, a theatrical display of men and muscle. As an example to anyone who dared face them, these were the very men who would crush all resistance. After 2 days of sport, they rode out to Scone at a leisurely pace. With no armed men to stand against the invaders, it would be an easy task. 2 people thought otherwise: the old abbot of Scone, John, and myself, Sir Simon of Scone, newly knighted and about to join a crusade to the Holy Land. We would know the truth, for the time being at least. The stone would have to be hidden until such time as when Scotland was at peace. With me so far away, the location of Scotland's stone would remain with Abbot John. No humble monk would be burdened with such knowledge, and Abbot John would never reveal the truth, even on pain of death. But the slab of Iona marble was a huge weight. Spurred on with a little pride and a lot of fear, we somehow found the strength to carry it a short way to the Abbey gardens. So soon in the morning, not even the earliest rising monk, far less a raiding English soldier, would see us struggle to safely secrete that stone. Edward had defeated the Scottish army at Dunbar, destroyed Berwick, and laid siege to Edinburgh Castle. He had already stolen the crown jewels at Edinburgh, along with the Black Rood, a holy relic of St. Margaret. No king was allowed to reign in Scotland unless he had first, on receiving the royal name, sat upon the stone at Scone, which, by the kings of old, had been appointed the capital of Alba. In a quiet corner, out with the abbey walls, we hid the stone of destiny in the undergrowth. But we would need to replace it with something convincing for the English to serve up to Longshanks. His loyal lieutenant, Sir Marmaduke of Kent, would have to be tempted with something else to steal for his king. But what? And so they came, a small band intent on theft for their master in London. It would be a simple operation to collect the stone and carry it to London for the new coronation throne, commissioned by Edward, with a shelf fitted underneath. It was an indication of their complete confidence in their quest that the keepers of the stone, these peaceable holy men, even knew of the English advance for months beforehand. What were a few flabby friars going to do? No one stood in their way. The oh, it was almost too easy. Assured that there would be no resistance to their intentions, the men relaxed. Sir Marmaduke would have need of his balladeer to write a heroic song to tell a tale of Highland warriors who had fought well but succumbed to English steel for the stone to be taken. Such is the tomfoolery played with history at the hands of such fools. A saltire covering its resting place. The nation's flag was removed to reveal the lid of the cesspit of the pig farm at Scone Abbey. Would Sir Marmaduke and his men believe our trick? This did not have the look of anything sacred. No carvings, no symbols on its face, no wording to signify its sacred status. So much for Scotland's great symbol. Now Sir Marmaduke was no fool. He knew the price of failure. Longshanks had no pity for fools, and to be made to look like one would bring swift reward. And what of the monks? They too would suffer if it was thought the true stone had been hidden by them. It was then that Abbot John made his decision. To make sure the soldiers believed they had found Lia Fail, he left his place of safety and pleaded with them to let it remain, that it belonged to Scotland and not King Edward. And I let him go alone, cowering in the grass like a frightened rabbit, as that dear man was set upon by Edward's thugs, his sacrifice convincing the cruel Sir Marmaduke that he had found the prize. I watched, useless, as he was so badly beaten that in my heart at that moment I swore a promise. But even Sir Marmaduke took pity on Abbot John and called off his men, sparing the abbot's life. Fearing for my friend and mentor, I saw the English soldiers struggle to carry away the consolation prize. Their future kings would be crowned upon a worthless lump of sandstone. We would need to replace that, though. Later, much later, I repeated my promise at Scone's altar to guard the stone as my life's work. Other knights would take the road to the Crusades. My mission was closer to home. To keep the stone safe for such times as Scots kings should have need of it was my patriotic duty, transcending death itself. And here I remain, down the years and centuries, guardian of the stone of Scone, ni falat fatum, scoti quocumque locatum invenient lapidiem, regnasa tenetur ibi dem.